Welcome to magnificent Bali, Indonesia and World Shoot 15. Hi, I'm Saul Kirsch and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this Double Alpha Academy production of World Shoot 15. Over the next 3 hours we'll cover the action from all 36 stages of the match, plus share with you the experience of the opening and closing ceremony and the exciting conclusion of the shoot-offs in all divisions. So sit back and enjoy this Double Alpha Academy production of World Shoot 15 from Bali, Indonesia.
Range is clear.
Argentina. Please give me applause for Argentina. Brazil. Chile, followed by China. Colombia, followed by the Czech Republic. Germany. The flag carrier from Germany is 83 years old.
Not actually, he's a woman and he's
Greece.
about 30.
Guatemala, followed by Hong Kong. Hungary, Puerto Rico, Russia, Thailand,
On behalf of the International Practical Shooting Confederation,
I would like to welcome the best shooters in the world and the best officials in the world to the best match in the world. I'd also like to thank the IPSC Indonesia, Perbakin, the province of Bali, the beautiful city of Denpasar, for hosting this outstanding world event. As usual, I wish all competitors crisp front sights and clear targets, and all officials smiling faces and cool breezes. Good luck to you all.
Apa? Kiri sekarang ya?
The distinguished participants of World Shoot 15 2008.
Stage number 1 was all about timing the swingers. On the right position, one came in on the open target, plate about 20 meters away, and the steel released the swinger, which could be shot after the last paper target, which was a long distance away. A quick run to the left, about 8-10 meters, coming in on the open target, and here the sequence, there actually was enough time to...
Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by.
Next up is Max Michel from the US, who tries to do things a little bit different and shoot the stage starting on the left, then heading to the right. He was one of the very few who tried to go this way. Our next shooter is young Émile Aubryon of France, who is the newest member on the STI Euro team and a top contender in the match. A good start there from Émile. Next up is another young top shooter, BJ Norris from the USA, representing the US Open team. Stage number 2 was as simple and straightforward as they come. 4 partial targets and a plate through the low opening. The difficulty here was the opening was very small and the target spread was wide, which required shifting your shoulders. Here's the view in real time.
Stand by. Unload show clear. Put the guns clear, hammer down, holster. Are you ready? Stand by. Finished, unload show clear. If it's clear, hammer down, holster. Thank you. Step back. Are you ready? Stand by. You're finished. Unload show clear. If the gun's clear, hammer down, holster. Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, unload show clear. If the gun's clear, hammer down, holster. Are you ready? Stand by. Finish, unload, show clear. If the gun's clear, hammer down, holster. Thank you. Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, unload, show clear. If the gun's clear, hammer down, holster. Are you ready? Stand by. You're finished, unload, show clear. If the gun's clear, hammer down,
Stage number 3 was one of the most challenging weekend stages I've seen in a long while. The shooter sat in a cart with his strong hand attached to the cart, so the shooting had to be done weekend only. There were some small plates, some very long distance paper targets, and all this could have been shot either standing or in the seated position, at least for the larger, taller shooters. This stage was extremely difficult for many shooters. It goes to prove you have to practice weekend. Here's the view of the stage in real time.
Stand by.
Unload, shoot, clear. Head clear, Hammerline. Are you ready? Stand by. Unload, shoot, clear. Are you ready? Stand by. Unload, shoot, clear. Are you ready? Stand by. Hold. Unload, shoot, clear. Stage number 4 was a big interesting field course, 32 rounds. Coming in on the first position on the right hand side, the steel released the swinger, and behind the steel was another plate about 20 meters out. You couldn't see that plate until you knocked down the steel, and a surprising large number of shooters forgot to engage that plate. An array of targets off to the left of the barricade, 2 close low targets here in the port, and these were some of the lowest and fastest targets in the match. The reload came here for most open shooters. Coming in on the front array, you wanted to shoot that steel first because behind it was again another small plate, which again was forgotten by many competitors. Coming into the final position for the last few shots. Now those left targets you can see were visible from the second position as well.
Are you ready? Stand by. We are finished unloading. Stand by.
A great run there from Adriano for the stage win on this big stage. A good number of shooters chose to move into the left position first and end up in the low window. This prevented the need from getting out of that window, but it did make for an extra 2 steps and a little bit more time on the transition. On stage 5, the temptation to shoot quickly across these partial targets was big, but the distance was about 12 to 15 meters and that no-shoot was scary. An interesting transition around the corner here required the shooter to run backwards, and of course keeping the muzzle safe was the priority. Coming into the last position, you could end up deep on that final popper. And here's the view of the stage in real time.
Stand by. Stand by.
And you can clearly see how careful Shannon is to keep that muzzle safe, never pointing anywhere near the 180. On a stage like this, the ROs are paying very close attention to your muzzle, so you really want to make sure that you don't give them any cause to call you on a muzzle violation. Safety must be your first concern.
Stand by. You are finished. Unload and show clear. If we are not done, also. Time. Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. If we are finished, unload and shoot. If we are not done, holster. Time. Are you ready? Stand by. We are finished. Unload and shoot. If we are not done.
Stage 6 was a simple 9-round speed shoot, a step off to the left for 2 targets, and you wanted to shoot the inner one first. And then in the final position, those 2 targets with the no-shoot in between demanded some respect, finishing up on the steel as the last shot.
Are you ready?
Here's the view in real time.
Bye.
I chose to shoot the steel first coming in, so as not to risk an unstable shot on the partial no-shoot, but missed the steel and had to go back for it.
Are you ready? Stand by. You're finished. Unload and shoot clear. Clear hammer down. Hold still, okay? Are you ready? Stand by. Finish. Unload and shoot clear. Clear hammer down. Are you ready? Stand by.
On a small simple stage like this, there really isn't much to gain. You just have to be careful and watch your sight so as not to pick up a mistake on that partial no-shoot. A missed no-shoot will hurt you on this stage as much as any.
Unload, shoot clear. Clear hammer down. Stand by. Finish, unload and shoot clear.
Stage 9, we had to pick the gun off the table and rack it. 2 close targets on the left. The steel released the swinger, and there was just enough time for that 20-meter target out on the right. It was all about points on this stage, getting a good load and shooting clean. Here's the view in real time from the head cap. On this stage, we catch up with the top ladies open squad, and first up is Amanda McIntosh of Australia.
If you're finished, then unload.
You ready?
So clear is clear. Hammer down, holster.
Stand by.
Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, then loading. So clear. If clear, hammer down, holster. Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, then loading. So clear. If clear, hammer down, holster. Your time. 5. Are you ready? Stand by.
Kay was just a bit slow in engaging the target off to the right, and so she didn't make the 2 shots on the swinger. Having to wait for that cost a second and a half on a stage which is shot under 5 seconds. That's a lot of time, equal a lot of points. Oh, well, Lisa got 2 shots off at that swinger, but she didn't like the second one and waited for it to come back. She got her points, but dropped a lot of time doing it.
Stand by. If you're finished, then loading. So clear. If clear, hammer down, holster.
You ready?
In stage 8, the shooter started laying flat, had to retrieve his gun off the floor and shoot 5 plates, the back ones, each lifted a target. Now those back plates and targets were out at well over 20 meters, and the shooting position was very restricted, so you couldn't straighten up and you had to shoot in a low crouch. This stage proved very difficult for many. Here's the view in real time. A stage like this can really feel very frustrating because you feel like you're shooting so very slowly, but the targets are small and it's all about the points. You have to take your time, try and get through it without extra shots. Always remember that on a stage with small targets, each and every shot, each and every extra shot costs you some real time, so you're better off slowing down just a little bit and shooting clean.
Stand by. If you are finished, unload and show clear. If clear, have it down. Put the gun down there. Thank you, and come out. Are you ready? Stand by. If you are finished, unload and show clear. If clear, have it down. Put it down there. Thank you, and come out, please. Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, unload and show clear. If clear, have it down. Put the gun on the mat and please. Are you ready? Stand by. You're finished, unload and show clear. If clear, have it down. Put it down here. Come out. Are you ready? Stand by. If you are finished, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down. Down on the mat. Please step out.
Stage 9 was a very tactical field course which gave the shooter many options. This was only one of them. Shoot the first 3 targets from the start position and never move up to the wall at all. On the left hand side, the plate and the partial targets, the popper. One extra target here was optional, but it could be seen again from the second position right here. The distance to those back targets was about 20 meters, so no fast shooting on this stage. The key here was to make a plan, know exactly where your targets were, and try and shoot clean without extra shots and without re-engaging the same target twice. Those small plates at distance cost plenty of people a lot of time.
Stand by.
Here's the view in real time.
Are you ready? Stand by. 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 Are you ready? Are you ready? Stand by.
Stage 10 was a challenging 16-round stage. 2 close targets off to the left, then up to the fault line, leaning over it for the steel, the paper, and the swinger with the no-shoot swinger. There was just enough time to put 1 shot on the swinger on either side of that hardcover. Coming into the final position, you had to get just into the right place so that you could shoot around both sides of this barricade without moving too much.
Are you ready?
Here's the view in real
Stand
time.
by.
Oh, and that extra shot on the last plate was not how I wanted to finish an otherwise good stage.
Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. Ready for the low show clear. If clear, have it out holster. Right step. Are you ready? Stand by. Ready for the low show clear. That wasn't the plan. Well, clip, have it out holster. Okay, stop. Are you ready? Stand by. Finish on low show clear. If clear, have it out holster. Right step. Are you ready? Stand by. Finish on low choke clear. Clear, have it out of the
Stage number 11 was a simple small stage, 9 rounds shot through 2 low openings, 2 targets on either side, and the steel in the center could be seen from both sides. I chose to shoot it last. Here's the view in real time.
Are you ready? Stand by. If clear, holster. Clear.
In stage number 12, we started in the front end of the stage. The left steel here released the left swinger, and there was enough time for the target before shooting the swinger. Up tight against the left barricade for the right steel, which released the right swinger, and here you had to turn and run backwards, again being very careful with the muzzle direction, to set up in the front end of the stage for the paper, the plate, the paper, and then across to the left, again for two paper and a steel. And if you hit the right position, you didn't have to move much between those two last arrays of targets. Here's the view from the hat cam in real time.
Finish and load. Stand by.
Stage 13 was a simple, straightforward speed shoot, which could be shot either standing or seated. 3 paper targets, a popper, and 2 rather small plates faced the shooter from the shooting position on the cart. Here's the view of a rather poor run in real time. And first up is Chris Tilley to show us how to do it right. Chris had to swing back there for that last plate. He did it quickly, but this stage is so small and so fast that any extra shot will cost you. Next up is Casey, recently the winner of the Steel Challenge and one of the fastest shooters alive. And you can see why he set the new world record at the 2008 Steel Challenge in August.
Ready? Stand by! Clear, hammer. Okay, shooter, make ready. Are you ready? Stand by! Get your finish, your load show clear. If clear, hammer down holster. Are you ready? Stand by! If you finish, your load show clear. If clear, hammer down holster. Range clear.
Stage 14 was almost a mirror image of the previous weekend stage. This time, one had to shoot stronghand, either seated or standing. The targets were actually easier than they were on the weekend stage, which pleased many. This stage again was a simple, straightforward run, but you needed to get your points and you wanted to try and avoid extra shots.
If you are finished, unload.
Bye.
Stage 15 was another big running and gunning stage. On the draw, 2 targets to the left, 3 mid-range targets on the move coming round the corner, and here there was a choice whether to go left first or right. I chose left, shooting the array of targets here. Last target there on the move, going into the window. Now in the middle there's a steel target here and a plate. Final popper leaving to the right and shooting the array of targets on this end, which could have been shot before the window and was by most of the top shooters in the match. Here's the view of the stage in real time. We'll join some of the top standard shooters for this stage, and first on the line is Emmanuel Bragg representing the USA. One of the real challenges about this stage was that it was closed off and you couldn't see it from the back. You only got 3 minutes for the whole squad on the stage to decide your tactics and find your targets. This made it pretty challenging. A great run there from Chris. Always a pleasure to watch him shoot, especially when shooting on the move. His technique is just so good. Next up is Taron Butler shooting standard for Team USA.
finish, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down, holster. Are you ready? Stand by. If finish, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down, holster. Are you ready? Stand by. If you are finished, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down, holster.
Stage 16 was another big field course, shot from 4 positions. The difficult element here was that multiple targets were seen from multiple positions. In each of the doorways you could see the middle targets again and again, and many shooters went array here, re-engaging the same targets twice or forgetting to engage a target on the way across the stage. Most shooters moved to their right, and keeping your muzzle safe was part of the requirement. The middle plate here flipped up a target which was about 20 meters out, and that was the last target in this position, before coming into the final corner for the close target on the setup, 2 mid-range targets and a big popper.
Are you ready? Ready. Stand by. Finish unload and show. Are you ready? Stand by.
Impressive shooting there from Travis. Let's take another look at that run and compare him to Adriano. Try and superimpose them and see where the time was lost or gained. So we could see very clearly there that the extra shots Adriano took in the second position is what made the difference overall, about a 2.3 on the time of the stage. On stage 17, the shooter had to lean around the edge of the barricade. The middle popper released two swingers, one on the right and one on the left. And the left swinger was a pretty tight bend around the barricade. One could, of course, shoot this from both sides of the barricade, but that would be a lot slower. Here's the view in real time.
Are you ready? Stand by. Range is clear. 6, 7. Are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by. You're finished. Unload, show clear. If the gun's clear, hammer, holster. Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. You're finished. Unload, show me clear. If it's clear, hammer, holster. Range is clear. 739. Are you ready? Stand by. You're finished. Unload, check clear. If clear, hammer, holster.
911.
Range is clear.
18 was only a small stage, but it was extremely well laid out. You wanted to come in moving on the big popper, move to the left, shoot the target, and while moving to the right, engage the two close targets, setting up in the last position.
Ready?
If you get this right, there's no pause throughout the stage.
If you're finished. Are you ready? Stand by.
Stage 19 was a simple speed shoot. One picked up the gun off the boat, the steel activated the swinger and the no-shoot swinger, and there were 3 other full-size targets. The only question here was to choose the right sequence so you wouldn't have to wait too long on the swinger. Here's the view in real time from the hat cam. My choice of sequence was not good. I had to wait there for the target to come back, and that's the disadvantage of being the first shooter on the first stage in the morning. A perfect run there from Blake with the stage win on stage 19.
Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by.
When I watched this stage being shot the day before we got there, I thought there was enough time for 2 targets between the steel and the swinger. Turns out I was wrong. I couldn't call either of those 2 first shots and had to wait for 2 extras. That cost a lot of time on a small stage. On stage number 20, the middle steel released the left swinger and the left steel released the right swinger. The key here was to try and find a sequence that wouldn't keep you waiting too long on these swingers, bearing in mind that you could really get only 1 shot per pass on the swingers as they were quick and you could only see the top half. Here's the view in real time.
You're finished. Are you ready? Stand by.
A good clean run there with no extra shots puts me in the top 5 overall on the stage.
Are you ready? Stand by. You're finished. Unload and so clear. If clear, hammer down. You ready? Stand by. You're finished. Unload and so clear. If clear, hammer down. You ready? Stand by. You finish, unload and so clear. If clear. You ready? Stand by. You finish.
Another very good run from Blake with a second place finish and 97% on the stage. Stage 21 we had to start laying flat with the gun off to the side. Through the first port, 2 full-size steel and a plate which flipped open a target. Then one had to run backwards again, being very careful with the muzzle direction, coming into the port for 2 long-distance targets and a small plate, before sprinting to the right and the end of the stage for the last targets through the window. Lots of accuracy, as you can see in this stage, all long distance. And here's the view from the hat cam in real time.
Stand by. Stand by. Are you ready? 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 Stand by.
Stage 23 was a big stage, but very straightforward, really one way to do it. Off to the right from the start position, 3 targets and a full-size popper. Had to sprint to the left all the way across the range to set up here by the fault line. Coming in on the big open target, another steal and another 2 mid-range targets. To the next position here, you could avoid going into the support by staying back to shoot the 2 paper and the steal. The reload here for the open guns. Coming into the next position for 2 full-size papers and the popper which releases the slider. In the next position coming in hard for the 2 close targets. And that slider there is pretty slow, but it was almost 20 meters away. And the target area was pretty small with a no-shoot.
Are you ready?
You had to be careful.
Stand by.
Here's the view from the hat cam in real time. We join the action on stage 23 with the top production shooters, and first up is world champion Adam Tick. A quick run there from Adam, but perhaps too many points down. Still a 4th place finish. Next up is Angus Hobdell shooting for the USA. Impressive shooting there from Angus and a 2nd place finish on the stage. Next up is Blake McGee's shooting standard, and a perfect run from him gets him another stage win. Watch this.
Are you ready? Stand by.
A solid run there, but some time lost setting up in the position through the small opening, the 3rd shooting position. Next up is Robert Vogel shooting for USA.
Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by.
An incredibly fast run there from Jorge, going below 18 seconds on the stage. but he did clip a no-shoot on one of those sliders and had to make it up. That 10 points puts him back.
Are you ready? Stand by.
Stage 24 was another interesting medium course, had a lot of options here. From the start position, you had to shoot 2 partial targets, a full target and a popper. There was an option here to shoot those last shots while moving back, setting up here against the fault line, and it was a sharp lean in to reach this final target here. Again, there was an option to shoot it from further back in the same position where we saw that next target, and then moving further back for the final target. You had to watch your barrel at all times while moving backwards. Here's the real speed of the Hat Cat.
If you are finished. Are you ready? Stand by.
You could see that Angus chose to set up further back there in a position where he could see the second to last target as well as that array around the barrel. That saved him a position but made for a more difficult lean for those 2 final shots. And there was another option, backing out on the paper and the big steel.
Finish and load choke. Holster. You square 1, 3, 3. Are you ready? If you are finished, load and shoot clear. Be clear. Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished and load, show clear. Give clear. Hammer down. Holster. Range it. Are you ready? Stand by.
An incredibly fast run there by Eduardo, but 16 points down on this stage is just too much. Next up is Adam Titch with a good clean run, and you'll see how points make the difference even with a slower time. Adam shot only 1 C and won the stage. Stage 25 was another interesting large stage. A step off to the right for 2 mid-range targets, coming forward and on the move 2 mid-range targets before setting up along the fault line for the target, the plate, and the popper at the back there releases the first of 2 swingers. Coming into the next position, shoot the steel first, a popper and a plate there, and the swinger on the left side of the barricade. One has to run all the way across to the right because on the outside here is another popper which sets off the next swinger, and then stepping back into the final position for the popper, plate and the swinger. Now the key here was to try and find the right sequence that would prevent you waiting on those swingers. Here's the view from the hat cam in real time. Let's take another look there and compare Maggie's front section of the stage to Andrea. See where the time was gained on that section. On stage 26 we had to draw and engage 2 plates off to the left, the first of which picked up the target about 20 meters away, moving forward, coming in on the popper, and then finishing up on these 2 close targets. But again, one had to be careful here because of those no-shoots. Here's the view of the stage from the hat cam.
Are you ready? Stand by. Stand by. Stand by. Stand by.
A great shoot there from Petter, winning the stage with a clean run and only 1 point down. And that's even with the towel hanging around the neck.
Are you ready? Stand by. Stand back. Are you ready? Stand by. Stand back. Are you ready? Stand by.
A good run there from Adriano. Let's take another look and superimpose him and Shannon to compare their 2 shoots.
Are you ready? Stand by. Stand by.
They shoot exactly the same run, finishing within a few hundredths of a second, but Adriano had the better points. Stage 27 actually looked very simple at a first glance, but there were many options here. 2 big windows to shoot from, and a total of 9 rounds. All targets could actually be shot from one side, but it was a very difficult lean and a long setup. Most people chose to shoot it this way. My frustration showing there in having to engage that second target again. I just couldn't call good shots on it in the position I was in.
Finish and load the shotgun. Clear hammer down hole. Wait for 5, 5, 1. Are you ready? Stand by. Finish and load the shotgun. Clear hammer down hole. Wait for 5, 7, 0. Are you ready? Stand by.
Oh, that piece of brass came very close to taking out our wide-angle lens. A good solid run there from Travis, dropping only 1 point and a 5th place finish. Next up is Emmanuel Bragg with even a better performance.
Stand by. slowly shuffle. Clear hammer down hold. Rinse clear time 515. Park one stop. Are you ready? Stand by. Finish and slowly shuffle. Are you ready? Stand by. Finish and slowly shuffle. Clear hammer down hold.
Stage 28 will be remembered by many as one of the most confusing stages of the match. There were many options and you could see the same targets from multiple positions. One option was to shoot 3 plates from the start position. You had to go to both of the ends of the stage, so running to the left first, 2 open targets, long distance, stepping back in towards the center for 2 targets and the final and 4th plate. There, eventually hit on the 3rd shot. Running across range to the right hand side, setting up just before the barricade for 2 long distance targets and then around the corner for the final 2 targets. And this is the way the stage was shot by most. Here's the view in real time.
Boy!
Yes, and if anyone was counting, there were actually 4 extra shots on the small plate. First shooter is Maximilian Wiegen, a top young German shooter.
Clear time 2-4. Are you ready? And boy!
An excellent run there from Oliver Dahm and a 2nd place finish in the standard division on this difficult stage.
Are you ready? And boy!
Let's take another look at Gregory's run and compare him to another top German shooter, Oliver Dahm. See where the differences lie. It seemed like Gregory lost a little bit of time to Oliver in each position. Stage 29 had a fast long-distance mover, but nobody got to shoot it moving. The way the stage had to be shot was you had to first shoot from the right, then the left, and then move back to the right, at which point the mover had already stopped for all shooters. So it was in effect shot as a stationary target. The mover is on the back there with the no-shoot.
Are you ready?
Here's the view of the stage from the head cam.
If you have any
Are you ready? Stand by.
But even as static targets, those two targets out there on the back on the mover were a challenge for many shooters. There was a big no-shoot in the center of two small shoot targets, and the distance was over 25 meters away. Many shooters picked up penalties.
Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. Let's see. 157. Are you ready? Stand by. Time what? Are you ready? Stand by.
In stage 30 we had to lunge forward to pick up our gun off the bottom of a Cooper tunnel, and while remaining within the tunnel, shoot the 3 full-size papers, the 2 plates and the popper. This was a fast stage, and shooting clean with no extra shots was key.
Stand by.
If you finish and
Are you ready? Ready! Stand by! Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. Press clear.
Stage 31, big field course with multiple options. First moving to the left to the edge of the barricade for 2 or 3 targets, stopping in the middle for the next 2 or 3 targets again, and there were choices here. Coming across the middle section here, shooting that partial on the move saved some time. Coming into the right-hand doorway, 3 targets and 2 small plates. Again, this last plate here could be shot from the middle position as well. The reload came here for most open shooters, coming into the low port, coming in on the open target to the left, another small plate and full-size targets, and ending up at the edge of the barricade. And these last 2 targets here with a no shoot in the middle were about 15 meters away. Here's the run in real time.
Are you ready? Stand by.
And that performance with only 1 point down was good enough for the stage when in open. In stage 32, you had to get off the chair, load the gun, and set up in the first doorway to shoot. You had choices here, as some of the targets could be seen again from different positions. The first target shot from the doorway, then into the second doorway for a choice of either 3 or 4 targets, and then coming in around the corner on the left to the final position for at least 2 mid-range to close targets. This stage was all about trying to shoot clean without extra shots on the small steel. This stage was a simple 9-round shoot with 4 targets and a plate. It was all about shooting clean, not missing that small plate which picked up the long-distance target. And one had to be careful on this final target here, swinging in at speed into the target just in front of the no-shoot. Here's the view in real speed. Stage 34 once again had us shooting and running backwards. From the front position, the two close targets around that no-shoot. The steel was shot from the front by most competitors, although you could see it from the sides as well. Running back to this position for the big steel and the long-distance paper, and then ending up on the right-hand side for the paper, the popper, and finally the small partial target above the no-shoot.
Are you ready? Ready. Stand by. If you finish. Time 10:83. Time 11. Are you ready? Stand by.
In stage 35, we started with both hands gripping the handlebar of a scooter, which seemed appropriate as most people seem to drive scooters around Bali. It was another one of the simple 9-round stages, but long distance and a lot of care required for those shots. Here's the view in real time. We joined the top modified squad for the last two stages of the match.
Are you ready?
The 8 shots of stage 36 were shot from within a canoe with a rather narrow base, which was enough to convince most competitors to shoot seated. Here's the view in real time.
Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, unload and show clear. It's clear, hammer down, holster. Range is clear. Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down, holster. Range is clear. Tight. Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down. Stand up, put the gun away. Thank you. Range. Are you ready? Stand by.
A great run there from Jojo Vidanis on his way to winning the overall title in the modified division.
Time. 4, 8, 1. Are you ready? Stand by. If you are finished, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down, holster. Are you ready? Stand by. If you're finished, unload and show clear. If clear, hammer down, holster.
And first up in this top 8 shoot-off is the revolver division. And so the top 8 revolver shoot-off is won by Igor Brusin. Next to compete is the modified division, and first up is Jojo Vadanis and James Ong. And James Ong goes on to the next round. It was a single elimination knockout all the way through to the finals, so you lose once and you're out. And Mike Voigt goes on to the next round. And that sets up the final in the modified division between Michael Voigt and Zdeněk Kenes. Michael Voigt wins the modified shoot-off without having fired a single extra shot in all of his runs. Well done, Mike. The next group of shooters on the line are production juniors. And so Matthew Lavergne of the USA wins the Junior Production Division shoot-off. And next on the line are the Production Ladies. And so that sets up the finals between Andrea Gassic and Oraiza Leon for the title of Production Ladies. And the win goes to Andrea Gassic by the smallest of margins. Well done. And take a look at the back of the frame, the dozens of men in the orange shirts making sure that the steel is up and ready and quickly. Next up are the top men of the production division. Angus goes through to the final, and that sets up an all-American final between Robert Vogel and Angus Hobdell. Single elimination run for the title. So Angus Hobdell wins the shoot-off in the production division. Next up are the ladies of the standard division. And so in the finals, Claire Gillis will face Jeanette Gonzaga for the title of Top Ladies Standard. Oh, and they were so evenly matched across the steel, but a better reload gives the win to Claire. Next up are the top men of the standard division. A quick first shot there from Taran, not bringing the gun up to the targets before the reload, but it wasn't enough, and Travis Tomasi goes on to the next round.
Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by.
And so after some excellent shooting, the final in the standard division will be between Travis Tomasi and Andriano Santracagello.
Stand by.
Oh, so the poor reload from Travis gives Italy's Adriano the win and the title of shoot-off champion in the standard division. Next up are the Open Juniors. And close to us is BJ Norris, who without a doubt is one of the fastest shooters alive on steel.
Are you ready? Stand by. Stand by. Are you ready? Stand by. Stand by.
So the junior shoot-off final will be between Blairin Ortega and BJ Norris of the USA.
Stand by.
A near perfect run from BJ Norris leaves Ortega no chance at all. And BJ Norris wins the junior shoot-off title. Next up are the Open Ladies Division. And Lisa Monson goes through to the next round. Next up are Kay Mikulik and Katerina Sestrova. And Kay goes through to the next round. On the line are Mary Grace Tan and Linda Blowers. Oh, and Linda goes through by the smallest of margins. Now in the second round, Lisa Monson faces Kay Mikulik, USA versus USA. And Kay goes through to the finals. And Gabriela Grasshoffer goes through to face Kay Mikulik in the finals of the ladies shoot-off. A good clean run there by Kay Mikulik, and she wins the ladies title. Next up are the top men of the open division. First up is Brad Bowlesley of the USA facing Eric Raffel of France. Great shooting from the both of them, but Eric goes through to the next round and right on to the final due to a no-show of some of the other top 8 shooters. Next on the line is Jethro Liano and Jetro Dionisio from the Philippines. And Liano wins and goes through to the next round, where he'll meet me, Saul Kirsch, for the other semi-finals. And so the final of the Open Division shoot-off is a repeat of the last 2 world shoots between Eric Raffel and myself, Saul Kirsch. Only this time it's a single elimination, 1 run for the title.
Are you ready? Stand by!
Yes, and so finally I have my victory over Eric Raffel. We each missed 1 steal and had a rather poor reload, but fortunately my steal was left standing next to the stop plate, and that gave me a faster transition and the win. You need a bit of luck in the shoot-off.
Say hi. Welcome to Bali.
On behalf of Bali people, on behalf of Indonesia, we hope that you have a great memory here. Bring back your memory. We are almost to the finish of this, closing of this wood shoot, but we hope your friendship are always with us. May God bless us, and thank you.
And on behalf of all of you, I would like to present some special medals. At this time, I would like to ask the youngest shooters at this match and the youngest at heart to please come up. I would like to ask the three youngsters from the family Manguda Datu to please come up. 8 years old, 9 years old, and 11 years old. Now the youngest at heart, Hans Dopplenberg from Germany, Marissa Hogan from the United States, and Chukka Bell from Australia. Please come up. Ladies and gentlemen, there's 70 years of shooting right there. There's 70 years of IPSC. I also know that we absolutely have the best officials in the world, and I would like all of them to stand for a huge round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the officials for World Shoot 15. The heroes of IPSC, the heroes of this match.
We are the champion, my friend. You are the winner. That's right. We keep on fighting to the end. Everybody, that's right. We are the champion. We are the champion. Don't talk for loser, 'cause we are the champion of the world.
Champion.
And now on stage are the shoot-off winners in all divisions.
So give big applause to them. They are the best of the best. Thank you very much.
And on stage now, the overall
You can
winners
give
of
a
the
big
modified
applause
division.
for them.
Jojo Vedanas of the USA, overall winner. Second was Zdenek Haynes from Czech at 98.9%, followed by Michael Voigt of the USA at 98.1%. On stage, the Super Senior Standard Division winner, Max Wiegand of Germany.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And the Standard Senior Division winner was Esterino Magli from Italy.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much, and congratulations once again. Thank you very much. Bronze medal goes to Smith Sanon, USA. Silver medal goes to Miguel Black, USA. And gold medal goes to Tomasa Travis, USA.
And so the Standard Division was a clean sweep to the USA. Travis Tomasi winning the title, followed by Blake McGeers at 98.8%, closely followed by Shannon Smith at 98.1%. The Open Super Senior champion was Philippe Guibert of France. The Open Senior division was won by Mario Rilo of Italy, followed at 95% by Miroslav Kamenicek of Czech and Thierry Aubriot at 90% of France. Open Juniors was also an all-US affair, with Casey Eusebio winning the title and finishing second overall as well. Brad Bolzey finished second in juniors and 8th overall, followed third by Shane Cooley of the USA. Athena Lee won top honors for the Open Lady division, followed very closely by Gabriela Krasov of Austria at 99.6%. Third was Katarina Sostrova of Czech Republic. Just 27 points the spread between first and third place in the Open Ladies division.
Thank you very much, ladies. Congratulations.
Open overall was won again by France's Eric Raffel, his 4th title in a row. Second place was Casey Eusebio at 94.8%, followed closely by Max Michel of the USA at 94.1%. The Revolver Division team's title was won by Italy, followed by the team from the Philippines, and in third, the team from Switzerland. The top modified division team was the team from the USA. Second place, the team from the Philippines, followed by the Italian shooters.
USA National Anthem, please stand up.
In the teams event in the production division, Team USA won top honors, followed in second place by the Czech Republic team, and in third, the team from Slovakia. In the standard division teams event, yes, you guessed it, Team USA won this division as well, followed in second place by Italy and in third by the shooters from the Czech Republic. And in the team's open event, yes, Team USA won again, followed by the team from the Philippines and in third place, the team from France. And that brings us to the end of this Double Alpha Academy production of World Shoot 15. I hope you enjoyed the action and look forward to seeing many of you again at the next World Shoot in Greece. I'm Saul Kirsch of Double Alpha Academy, wishing you all excellent shooting.